Last year, the Notre Dame women's basketball team reached the pinnacle of women's college basketball.
Put up the shot, it's on. Oh! Notre Dame is national champions!
This year, Coach Muffet Mcgraw and the Irish look to capture another national title. Now, with the latest from Notre Dame women's basketball, this is the Muffet Mcgraw Show, brought to us by Tire Rack, First Source Bank, and O'Rourke's Public House at Eddy Street Commons. Now, let's visit with the Hall of Famers. Hall of Fame basketball coach Muffet Mcgraw and Hall of Fame broadcaster and your host, Bob Nagel.
And good evening and welcome to O'Rourke's Public House. We have the best audience in the history of women's basketball. I think they not only show up at our show here, but they show up at our home games. And folks, it's unbelievable how many green shirts we saw down at Atlanta yesterday. Rooting on the Irish against Georgia Tech, and I tell you what, the green shirts look good everywhere we go,
yeah,
and they're really welcome there. We've got a great show for you again tonight, and we're looking forward to getting to it. And again, our show brought to you by the TireRack.com. We also want to thank West Bend Insurance and First Source Bank for their help. Our last show was on December 17th, and we were celebrating a win over Binghamton. Since then, we've beaten Western Kentucky, Lehigh, and Pittsburgh at home, and have gotten a huge win over Marquette on the road and a win at Georgia Tech. And that happened in Atlanta yesterday. 7 straight wins, and the Irish are hitting a few milestones as well, which we'll get a chance to talk about. We'll have a chance to visit with some of our grand players. They're all grand players now because everybody in our starting lineup has scored 1,000 points in their career. So I think Anthony Anderson came up with that line. He said they're all, yeah, give them a hand. And we're going to talk to Neil Ivey, our associate head coach and recruiting coordinator, who's with us tonight. Boy, you talk about a ratings getter. Neil Ivey's in the house.
We better watch our spots here, Bob.
That's right. And we've got a couple of outstanding players from our ball club are with us tonight. Senior Arike Gomboali, who passed the 2,000-point mark in her career recently. And also Jackie Young is with us, and Jackie's our newest member of the 1,000-point club, the 40th one to achieve that. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to give you a chance to win some prizes with our trivia contest, and we'll take some questions for Coach Mcgraw. And we'll get a chance to talk about the games coming up, including there's a big ACC game I heard coming up on Thursday. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. So, Coach, a lot to get to, but it is such an exciting time. We got back last night from Atlanta, and obviously a solid win over Georgia Tech. They got a good, young, talented team, but it was a good win. But we still have work to do.
You know, we do. 30 assists on 34 field goals, though, and that was not a record, which is really hard to believe. I'm not sure Josh is reading the stats correctly over there. But it was pretty amazing what we were able to do on offense. We still have some work to do, though. You're right. Some defensive miscommunications, a little bit of transition defense issues, but we're working. We're working every day, and we're getting better. Well,
we're going to have a chance to talk about all the games that we've been involved with the last couple of weeks, and then again, we'll have our guests, and we're going to ask another trivia question. So we're going to take our first break coming up right now, and we come back. We'll talk with Coach Mcgraw about the recent schedule for the Fighting Irish, and we'll all do that in just a moment after this message. Our show brought to you by the TireRack.com.
Bend, we like to say the worst brings out our best. So if something bad happens to your home, your car, your boat, motorcycle, or personal possessions, a West Bend home and highway policy will cover it all with one agent, one policy, and one bill. Not to mention one deductible. And if you don't file a claim all year, we'll give you some of your money back. Even your wallet can have a silver lining. To find out more, go to thesilverlining.com.
We know you like football. So do we. We're TireRack.com, and this is our version of a 2-minute drill, except it's only 30 seconds. TireRack.com has an enormous selection of tires. Not sure which ones to buy? Use our tire decision guide to find the right tires for your vehicle and the way you drive. Then get them shipped fast and free on all orders over $50. Shipping is in as little as 1 day. Free. TireRack.com ships to independent, recommended installers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Touchdown!
Hey, this is Brant, and I wanted to tell you about my brush with greatness. It's not a celebrity or somebody like that. It's a dad who has given up everything for his son. His name is Steven, and I met him in Africa after his wife gave birth to a little boy, and the little boy got sick, and his head started to get really large, and his mom saw how sick he was and how big his head was getting, and she decided, I'm done. I'm leaving this baby and my husband. And Steven stayed. with his little boy. He didn't know what to do. He was desperate, and his son got worse and worse. Stephen quit his job, didn't have any money, was just crying out to God, how can I find help? Eventually, they found the Cure Hospital in Uganda that specializes in this condition called hydrocephalus, and the doctors were able to help. And Stephen stayed when a lot of dads would have given up, but now his son's life is saved because of people who gave to Cure. And stories like this happen every day in Cure hospitals. If you want to be a part of one, do it. All you have to do is go to cure.org.
Live from O'Rourke's Public House in Eddy Street Commons, it's the Muffet Mcgraw Show on Pulse FM.
And welcome back to O'Rourke's Public House. We're glad you're with us and enjoying the food is really good. I heard the potato soup is especially good tonight. So who had potato soup tonight?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very popular. Chicken wings were good. Nathan gave us a full report on that just a few minutes ago. Nathan Bush enjoying the chicken wings tonight. One of our producers. Great to see him. We're back with the show and a chance to look at the games the Irish have played since our last show, Coach. The first one we had was Western Kentucky, and we started that game off by honoring Beth Cunningham, who joined you in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. Nice honor for Beth.
It really was. You know, I read it on Twitter. I didn't know. She's not one to go out and talk about herself at all. So we're thrilled for her. She's done so many great things in the state of Indiana, played at Bloomington South High School, set a lot of records down there, great score, and of course, everything she did for us.
I kind of love her attitude, too, about Enrique's on a pretty good incline to pass maybe every scorer here at Notre Dame, including Beth, and she said, it's great. I'm so thrilled about that because she's playing for us and doing
occasionally
a great job.
She does say, why don't you get Enrique a rest? give her a little time on the bench.
Get her some time off. That Western Kentucky game was also a game where we hit almost a record-setting field goal percentage. We were one shot maybe away. 69.8% in that game for the Irish against Western Kentucky. Everything we used the bigger rims that night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh is getting a workout on the record books this year. That was close to a record, but hard to believe 69% not a record.
The other thing that happened in that game was 25 assists for the Irish, and it started a real nice trend that we've been on since then.
Yeah, it really did, and that's been important because the two previous games we had 10 and 12 assists, and that's just not the way we play. We weren't having any fun. You looked at us. We didn't look like we were enjoying ourselves out there. We play with such passion, and we just didn't have it. So now we're sharing the ball, and we really look like we're enjoying ourselves.
We also, in that game, we had 5 players in double figures, including Jordan Nixon, who had a career-high 12 points in the game, and she hit 3 out of 4 from three-point range. All of a sudden, we had a pretty good idea she could do that, but got it done on the floor.
Well, it's great to see that because teams were going to slough off of her a little bit, and now they're looking at her stats thinking they got to get out and guard her, which makes us more powerful on the perimeter and really opens up the inside game.
And she's doing a great job. Played 25 minutes yesterday. The trip to Milwaukee was so special. I mean, for a lot of reasons. We did have a lot of fans that made it up there,
we
too.
We did. 2 busloads.
2 busloads.
A lot of people drove up.
Who was on the bus? You guys are awesome. I mean, to show up at those away games and people look at me, really? You get people to come on the bus? Yeah. Well, we go up to Milwaukee, and we get a homecoming for Enrique, and she didn't respond very well, just equaled her career high.
What a great game. I mean, it was a sellout crowd. The atmosphere was tremendous. We got off to a great start and really just never looked back. Brianna Turner, best game of the season, 20 points, had quite a few block shots. I think she really set the presence defensively. Jessica Shepard, but Enrique, it was her homecoming, and you expect sometimes you go home and you think that, everybody's trying to impress you. They haven't seen you play, so you might be a little nervous, but, Enrique doesn't get nervous, so she was out ready to go.
Yeah, I don't think she's been nervous ever.
Ever.
I don't think so. But, one of the things that happened in that game, Jackie Young went in there 31 points away from getting 1,000. And you think, well, I'm going to go after that? Not in the least. She winds up with 9 assists. Pretty nice game, and it tells you what's important for Jackie.
Yeah, and you saw the inside game, but she's so unselfish. Really, our whole team is. Look at Enrique's 12 assists, career high for her yesterday. Everybody's capable of doing that.
13-point lead at halftime. We get a little bit of comfort level there, and we're able to do what we want to do in the second half. And another great game with 26 assists in that game against Marquette.
Great game because they're a terrific team. I mean, they're a team that's probably going to win the Big East. They're an NCAA tournament team, regardless of whether they win the league or not. But to win on their home court, that was really impressive.
We've played 7 teams this year that have been ranked, and we've beaten 6 of them, which is a great standing. RPI is number 1. Strength of schedule is number 1. A lot of good things going for the Irish, as always, when you play a good schedule. Coach, we come home, we play Lehigh, and it was a very emotional game again because understand that you might have coached there for about 5 years.
What a great place to get my start. I mean, it's just a fabulous school. The people were tremendous. We didn't have quite the support that we have here. I used to sweep the floors, set up the shot clocks. Matt kept the book in the score. I had to pay the referees, had to give them their checks, which wasn't always easy after a loss. You know, sometimes they didn't get paid. They had to wait and get it in the mail. But just a great way to kind of prepare myself for this job.
And it was win number 900 in Coach Mcgraw's great career. 900 wins. And to do it against Lehigh was so special. And there was a nice presentation. Everybody, unbeknownst to you in a lot of ways, came out with a lot of really nice presentations after the game.
I was completely unprepared for that. And it was just so special. It was just great to share it with our fans, to be able to do it at home, and then to have Lehigh there and to have them stay for the whole presentation. I thought that was really classy of them. But to have the team present different things to me, it's just so special when you have people around you that you care about, and that's really the most important thing.
We get a chance then to play Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh has a new coach, and they're putting in a new system, and it's a pretty good change for what's been going on at Pittsburgh, and excited about their new coach. But we had an outstanding game. First quarter, we're up 32-10, and at halftime, 60-14. Now, that's a lot of great offense, but I thought our defense was really in, and Brianna Turner and Jessica, everybody's doing a great job.
They really are. Our defense is finally getting better. I think we're seeing a lot of improvement. We're working hard on it. Our zone is getting a lot better, and it's really getting us started on the break.
I love what Marina and Enrique, the communication with Jackie and Marina and Enrique in the backcourt is so special because they will almost set somebody up. We saw that happen quite a bit yesterday, but you get a young guard and somebody that, you know, they went this way that time, they're going to go this way, and so they're able to get a breakaway, then a pass, and then a lob, and you wind up with a fast break buck, and the ball never touches the floor.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, and a couple of, I don't know if I think there were 3 of them, not the Georgia Tech game, but Pittsburgh, I think we had 3 shot clock violations, which are like Christmas presents for you.
Right? Absolutely, that and taking charges.
There you go.
It's just such a great team act.
There you go. So we got a chance against Pittsburgh. Again, Marina, 20 points, 7 assists, and as a team we win 100-44. First ACC win of the season, which is always big, and Jackie Young joined the 1,000-point club, the 40th member ever 1,000-point club in that game.
Well, it's great because we talked about it early, and we talked about we wanted to get it done in the first quarter, so we didn't have to think about it the rest of the game. And so it was great. And then there was a dead ball shortly after, and we got to really give her a nice applause.
You got a chance then to take our first road trip in the ACC. And Georgia Tech, I'm going to tell you what, folks, they're back in here on February 3rd, and they've got a good young team. They've got a couple of great freshmen on that team. And they gave us a good battle, especially early in the game. In the middle, the second and third quarters were outstanding for us. Yeah,
we really came out strong. They started off, they were excited. Big game for them. Probably the best team that they're going to play all year. And they came out right off the bat and hit some shots, got a little adrenaline going, got a little confidence. And then we settled in and figured out what we had to do defensively, and we were able to really take control of the game.
And you got a chance again to play a lot of our younger players, significant minutes. We mentioned that Jordan played 25 minutes, but Danielle Patterson got in quite a bit. And you really see Michaela Vaughn is just starting to, we saw what she did last year before she was injured, and now she's really starting to blossom. The knee braces off. She's feeling confident, really playing solid.
She really is, shooting about 60% from the field. Just does a great job around the basket. She's rebounding really well. Really happy with the way she's rebounding. But Jordan Nixon, the last 3 or 4 games, has really started to come alive. She's got a really good assist-to-turnover ratio. After struggling a bit early and missing those 5 games, I'm really confident in the way she's playing right now.
I know at the beginning of the season you're hoping maybe to get her in almost a common rotation with the other 3 guards so everybody can stay fresh. And she had to start 5 games because Marina was out. And then she gets a concussion and misses the next 5. So what we want to do early in the season especially wasn't always what we could do. But getting to the point now where, again, everybody's getting pretty healthy.
Yeah, everybody looks good. Abby Prohaska's given us great minutes. Just really happy with the rotation that we have right now.
Well, we should mention, too, that we have a couple of players who are out. Caitlin Cole's out with the knee, but the knee's coming along. She's feeling really good, and she travels with a great teammate. And then, of course, Caitlin Gilbert had shoulder surgery, and everything's coming along on schedule with that too. So we're looking forward to her being ready to go next year.
Yeah, I'd like to get her out of the sling so she can applaud more while she's on the bench. Give her yet another job to do.
Well, she's keeping the sling on for one specific reason. Freshmen have to carry gear on the road trips. That's a rumor I heard. I don't know if that's true or not. Anyway, but Coach, again, when you look at all the things that we've been through since our last show, a lot of great accomplishments, and 900 wins, past Jody Conrad, who was a great coach in Texas. We had a big game against her years ago. And your buddy Jim Foster's on the list right in front of you. So a lot of great things coming along if we continue our winning ways.
Yeah, he's my mentor, so that will be kind of a special moment too.
Well, I know you have a chance to talk with those people on a regular basis. So it's good to see everybody supporting and proud of what you've done too with 900 wins. Outstanding.
Thanks, Bob.
All righty. That's our show. No, it's not our show. Hey, time now for our next trivia question before we go to a break. And I hope you got the first one correct. Here's the second one. Coach Mcgraw earned career win number 900 against Lehigh on December 30th in what was her 1,172nd game. She became the blank fastest coach to reach 900 wins. Was she second, third, fourth, or fifth? So she became the blank fastest coach to reach 900 wins. If you got that answer, write it down, and we'll collect those again at the end of the show. Right now, we've got to take a break, and we'll be back to visit with Niele Ivey. That's going to be a lot of fun. We hope you'll stay with us, obviously, and we're glad you're here at O'Rourke's Public House. Our show brought to you by O'Rourke's Public House and TireRack.com.
Life doesn't come with a financial roadmap. It does come with a lot of bumps and red lights. Steering clear of those doesn't have to be difficult. With First Source Bank's online money management tools, you can see all your financial accounts, balances, and transactions in one place. So you can easily set monthly budgets to help manage expenses and debt. Get the green light to a successful financial future with First Source's money management tools. First Source Bank, where better is better. Member FDIC.
Hey, I'm Brant, and this just makes sense. Let's say you've got credit card debt, maybe on multiple cards. You're not able to pay it off right now, but you want to be debt-free. Well, call Trinity Debt Management. This is exactly what they're great at. I'll give you the phone number in a bit. But just so you know, this isn't a gimmick. They're a nonprofit that specializes in this. They get you set up with a single monthly payment that's less than what you might expect because they're able to get you a break on the interest you're paying. So it's honorable, you're paying your debt, but it costs substantially less. You save a lot of money. The great thing, too, when you call, you talk to a certified credit counselor. You're not alone in this. It happens to a lot of people. And the end result here is being debt-free. And that is such a beautiful thing. So get help. They are so good at this. Trinity Debt Management. This is what they do. 800-750-9643. 800-750-9643. Call now. 800-750-9643.
At West Bend, we like to say the worst brings out our best. So if something bad happens to your home, your car, your boat, motorcycle, or personal possessions, a West Bend home and highway policy will cover it all with one agent, one policy, and one bill. Not to mention one deductible. And if you don't file a claim all year, we'll give you some of your money back. Even your wallet can have a silver lining. To find out more, go to thesilverlining.com.
It's the Muffet Mcgraw Show with your host, Bob Nagel, on Pulse FM.
And welcome back to O'Rourke's Public House. Got a great crowd here tonight, and always happy to see you. Believe me, nobody takes your attendance for granted. We love it, and we're going to look forward to seeing you for our next two home games coming up Thursday and Sunday. And joining us now is our associate head coach and recruiting coordinator, Niele Ivey. And, Niele is involved in so many things with Coach Mcgraw, but the thing is you've been involved for a long time. 17 years associated with the University of Notre Dame, 5 as a player, and 12 as an assistant coach. And what a great relationship. And, Coach, I read an article that was written about you in Notre Dame Magazine that came out this week, and you talked about Niele and the relationship that you've been able to build together and the total trust and things you saw in her as a high school player. Even when she had a bad night, she was competing and playing really well.
You know, sometimes you just meet somebody and you just have such a special feeling about them. And first game I went to watch her play AU, she was 0 for 13, mostly from the three-point line. And I was like, I love her. I just love that she had the courage to keep shooting, a little bit like Enrique, you know.
Yeah.
But she was just always special to me. Always will have a special place in my heart. Thank you.
Well, Niele, you've been a special part of Notre Dame for a long time, and it's just been great to see a young girl come in from St. Louis, Corjezu High School, and then you went through a couple of challenges, you know, and you always had a belief that, you know, the Lord does things for a certain reason. You would not have been there for the national championship had it not been for the second knee injury, and you came back from both of those and had a great career. Talk about the challenge in meeting that.
Yeah, that was my first injury, my freshman year, going down with the ACL, and then battling back, and then going down again my junior year. And I always was trying to figure out, what is the reason behind the things that I'm going through, the adversity that I had my first 4 years at Notre Dame. And then having that fifth year being back in my hometown and having the opportunity and knowing that the Final Four was going to be there, I was like, okay, there was a reason. But I wouldn't be the person I am or player that I was without Coach Mcgraw and without the coaching staff. They believed in me from the beginning. And, Coach Mcgraw, she could have recruited over me, but she knew she believed in me. And sometimes having that type of confidence is what allows you to be a great player and allows you to get through those moments. And so, having the Notre Dame family and the coaching staff is the reason why, I had a successful career here.
And, of course, the injuries allowed you also to span that gap. You were on the 97 team that went to the Final Four, our first one. You were on the national champion. You've been a part of every Final Four team we've had here, which is great. And, Coach, when you think about I remember when Neil came in, you said, I think I'm going to have you be my point guard. And she was like, I don't think so. and she turned out to really grasp it.
I said, here's the ball. Give it back to me in 4 years. And then she wanted another year, so 5 years. But it had to be exciting playing in your hometown for the Final Four. I mean, who gets that opportunity? That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my hometown was about 10. I mean, my home was like 10 minutes away from the Savage Center, so where we played, and so I had so many family members that came out. My high school principal, my high school, so many people that have followed my career, in high school, and for them to be able to see me go out on top there was just the best experience in the world.
Well, we arrived in St. Louis and we had a bunch of nuns greet us at the airport, so that doesn't happen too often.
Yeah,
we all were immediately a little nervous.
Yeah. We got off the plane. I was like, well, the Lord is on our side, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, we needed the Lord in the halftime of that
yeah, we did.
Connecticut game. Halftime, we came back from big deficit, won that, and then beat Purdue in the championship game. And it was just so many great memories. But the ones I will always remember was the hug that Muffet got from Father Malloy, which was really special because he's such a big basketball fan. And then looking up in the stands and seeing your mom sitting there in that row, the smile has never left her face, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, she was really a wreck, watching me play. She was always in the stands, obviously supporting me, but she was really nervous for me. So for me to be able to finally finish the career and not be hurt, she was really happy about that because she's so worried every time she plays.
And
which
now
I'm the same
experience that
with Jaden. I'm a wreck in the stands, and I was like, I understand how my mom was. So I definitely got that trait from her.
Neil's son Jaden, one of the top players in the state of Indiana, is a junior. He's leading Marion High School now, #1 in the state. Big game tomorrow night against St. Joe, the Holy War. Yeah, and here's what's kind of interesting is Jaden's being recruited by a lot of schools. So he talks to his mother about advice. What do you think you know about that?
I'm really honored that he actually asked me now. If before, I was like, Mom, and now you can tell he's a coach's son because he looks at the game a lot differently. He's very cerebral. He watches film all the time. So I'm really impressed by, the way he's grown from being an underclassman to an upperclassman. And he definitely takes all my advice, and, he's a gym rat. So I'm just proud of him and, happy to be able to support him and, have our Notre Dame family just go out there and support him.
Well, I know for years people would come to the game, and as soon as they got in, they'd see some guy out there shooting baskets. Who's that guy? He's pretty good. And he's gotten to be really good. And he's a wonderful young man and taking care of business in the classroom as well as on the court. So proud of Jaden. Neil, one of the things I want to do is coming up with some questions, but I think people really should know. When you are on the coaching staff, you're breaking down some games, you're at the games and those kind of things. But when it comes to recruiting, there's so many times, like if we're leaving Atlanta, for example, you might be flying to Texas and joining us the day before, the afternoon before the next game. The travel that our coaches go through for recruiting is unbelievable. And there are certain periods when you can travel and camp, but that's an unbelievable situation. And a lot of times a late drive, late at night from Chicago or whatever you got to do to get home.
Yeah, I mean, it's a grind, especially kind of matching our schedules with the schedules of our recruits. Sometimes they have great, tournaments that we try to support and try to go watch. So we try to map those out, in advance and try to see, which games are better games for them and also, games that try to get Coach Mcgraw to. But that's the most important piece of the puzzle is, getting the right players here and the right fit. And we've, fortunately have had some great recruits and some that you're about to talk to. But it's all about chemistry and about fit. And so we're, blessed to have, the right girls here.
And I guess sometimes when you get that fit, when you get that feeling, it means everything. I know the first time you met Enrique and her family and saw her play, you came back, oh, we got to get Enrique.
She was exciting back then, and still the most exciting player in college basketball. Just so fun to watch. I remember the first time I saw her, it was at a tournament up in Wisconsin, and I couldn't wait to go back the next day. And when I did, she wasn't there. And I thought, wow, somebody must have taken her off the market already. And then I found out she was a soccer player, and she had a big soccer match that day.
And, of course, Jackie Young was a big secret in Indiana. Nobody knew much about her, setting all the scoring records for guys and girls. And what a special young lady to come to Notre Dame. But getting down to Princeton is not easy from South Bend.
Yeah, it's not. As you know, Jackie's one of the most also exciting players in the state of Indiana, having the state record or state complete record. Right. We were fortunate to have her to come to camp a couple times, and so we had the opportunity to bring her on campus to get to know her and her family. And she was special when she was young, so it was somebody else, I think, outside of Skylar, somebody that Coach Mcgraw wanted at an early age.
And you've got some people that are already committed for next year, which we're excited about, and then you've got some people you're looking at for the following year. And, Coach, you've mentioned this a couple times. It's almost to the point where sometimes 8th graders are being approached, which is crazy. I mean, you got to let these kids grow up and mature and have other experiences.
It really is crazy. I don't know why people offer scholarships in 7th and 8th grade, even 9th grade. I mean, unless you know, women especially, I mean, we go through a lot of stages. They're going to make a lot of changes. You want to be sure that they're on track academically. I mean, we have to get that sophomore transcript before we're allowed to offer people. It's ridiculous that you don't, get to know anyone. Coach sees you play, calls the coach and says, I'm going to offer. And I think, I want to get to know somebody before I'm going to have them in my program for 4 years. And I always say, would you have asked somebody to marry you on the first date? I mean, you want to get to know somebody a little bit, make sure they're going to be a good fit for you.
I don't think I did that.
I think it was our second. Was it second date? Yeah.
Carol, was it first or second? No?
It's my first wife over there. So. Hi, Annie. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to ask you, too, is when the kids come in for a recruiting weekend, and we've had a lot of great players who came in for recruiting weekends who didn't come to Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. And it's always that question you ask the team, is she one of us? Does she fit in? Can they meld together with everybody here? It's so important.
Yeah, it is. You have to ask the players what they think because they're going to be the ones that are being around them the whole time and play with them. So that's an important part of it for us, to make sure that there is that good fit and that they're the same kind of values, same kind of work ethic. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to be around good players, but you have to be good people, too.
All right. Well, Neil, thanks so much for being here. Now, you can't leave just yet because we got a little round table coming up in a couple of minutes.
Wait.
But the other thing is, Neil, I think you got the scout on our next game.
I do have the scout on our next game.
You'll be up late tonight.
Exciting.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting.
So we'll be watching any football games tonight. So
no.
Neil, thanks for being with us. We're going to take a quick break. We've got to ask another question. And here's our next trivia question. So it has to do with Neil Ivey, believe it or not. The question is, how many Final Fours has Neil Ivey been a part of with the Irish as both a player and coach? Now, we didn't mention how many. We just said that. I'm just saying. We gave a little hint. But how many?
A big hint.
How many Final Fours has Neil been with us here at Notre Dame? And if you have that correct answer, that'll be part of your list, and we'll check those later on. We got to take a break. Our show is brought to you by TireRack.com. We're right back to O'Rourke's in a minute. Stay with us.
And now, an ad from Mom.
Here I go. Bundling home and auto with Progressive can save you money on your car insurance. No kidding. Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I added that last part in. You can edit that out, right? Or you can keep it in if you like. I mean, my opinion is I think it's good. I think other people my age would like it. Very relatable.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Indeed knows finding the right hire takes time away from your business.
Hiring a qualified data engineer felt like a second job.
More job seekers use Indeed than any other site, so there's no better place to find someone with the skills you're looking for.
I needed someone with a master's in computer science and database experience.
Plus, Indeed screener questions help you find your shortlist fast.
Now I'm back to having just one job.
Get a $50 credit to give your first job posting premium placement at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, quality standards, and usage limits apply. Additional terms online.
We know you like football. So do we. We're TireRack.com, and this is our version of a 2-minute drill, except it's only 30 seconds. TireRack.com has an enormous selection of tires. Not sure which ones to buy? Use our tire decision guide to find the right tires for your vehicle and the way you drive. Then get them shipped fast and free on all orders over $50. Shipping is in as little as 1 day, free. TireRack.com ships to independent, recommended installers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. Touchdown!
Life doesn't come with a financial roadmap. It does come with a lot of bumps and red lights. Steering clear of those doesn't have to be difficult. With First Source Bank's online money management tools, you can see all your financial accounts, balances, and transactions in one place. So you can easily set monthly budgets to help manage expenses and debt. Get the green light to a successful financial future with First Source's money management tools. First Source Bank, where better is better. Member FDIC.
We're talking Notre Dame women's basketball. It's the Muffet Mcgraw Show on Pulse FM.
And we welcome you back to O'Rourke's Public House. And pleased to be joined now by a couple of our outstanding athletes. And tell you what, you know a lot about Arike Ogumbawale. I heard she made a couple of shots last year. Well, she made a lot of shots, as a matter of fact. And Arike, everybody talks about your 2 shots to win the 2 games. But if you don't make a lot of other shots, we're not shooting for a game winner at the end of it. So congratulations on your great run and your great success.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The pride of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. What a trip. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. Jackie Young is also with us. Jackie's doing so many things for us on a given night. Yep. She could be one of our leading scorers. She could be our leading assist person. She could be, remember 14 rebounds against Syracuse?
Oh, yeah. I do remember that, actually, now that you said it.
Those things stand out because you do so many things to help the team. And you've, from the day you got here, you were asking, how can I help, rather than give me the ball, which, you know, you scored a few points in high school. So that might have been an issue somewhere else, but you've been a great teammate. And congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
Jackie is one of those. Now, next year should be our only senior, right? So you might get the ball a little bit more next year. We're not sure. We'll have to see. But you've done a great job. And talk about the team and the evolution of the team this year. I mean, you came back. We got 4 starters back from last year, plus Brianna, who started the year before. It's a pretty special group.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been fun playing with them. We got Bree back. I mean, she's a huge presence in the post for us. And, I mean, our guards are great with Marina and Arike. I mean, nobody can really stop them. And then we have Jess in the post who's just down there pounding the ball and really has showed that she can pass the ball a lot, pass the ball well these past few games. And so I think it's just really hard to play us. We're a really tough team. You can't really focus on one person because someone else will go off. And so I think that's what really makes us a great team.
You also get some unique defensive assignments because at 6 foot, you're a very tall guard, but you're also a very quick guard. You have all the attributes of a guard. So a lot of times we'll look at the other team's best shooter, best scorer, whatever, and you get that assignment. And at the end of the game, somebody says, well, Jackie only had 12 points. Yeah, but the other girl she was guarding had 8, and it was a big part of the game. It's a neat responsibility, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun guarding the best player on the other team and just trying to stop them every possession. I mean, I really take pride in my defense, and it's fun having that role on the team.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're doing a great job with that. Arike, I got to ask you about Milwaukee. What a special trip. You had a smile on your face after the game. You had about 300 members of family, friends, everybody that was there. And it's just a great environment, and it was just a special day for you.
Yeah, I was really excited to play at home, especially for the people who weren't able to come out to games, you know, around the country or at ND. So I think it was really special, especially being senior year. Like, it would have been nice sophomore, freshman year, but senior year, like, senior year, my last year, be able to go out and, you know, play well in front of people who supported me all throughout high school and college. So it was really special. And
we're playing the 19th ranked team in the country on their home floor. They have a starting lineup where everybody had scored 1,000 points. We are now one of 2 teams that have that in the country, Marquette and Notre Dame. And so it wasn't like you go out there and, you know, we're going to get an easy win. You're going to have to play a really good team on their home floor. They were pumped, they were ready, and still built a comfortable lead at halftime and took care of business.
Yeah, we had to be a little bit more focused than most homecoming games because usually it's some teams that aren't as good. But we knew Marquette was really good. I mean, they took us to overtime last year, so we definitely had to come and be focused. But I think we all executed the game plan well, and, you know, we stayed focused because Christmas break was coming up, too, and that was a great win to go out on Christmas break with.
And finals were coming up, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
and you had a long ride home.
Yeah, yeah, nice little 15-minute long ride.
Yeah, that was a little different, wasn't it? After the game, people were heading home from all over the country and going to different airports and stuff. I mean, the logistics and what Katie Capps and everybody does on a regular basis is amazing. How they make all this thing happen and make it work.
Yeah, it's amazing. What about those milestones? We've got a couple of milestones here.
Jackie got to 1,000 points, didn't she?
Took her a while, didn't it?
Yeah, we kept saying, well, I can't wait to see when she gets to the next 1,000. It's going to be great. But Jackie, talk about what that meant. I mean, it was a special night for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to just be able to play in the game. Marina said from the beginning she was going to give me the ball, and that's what she did early on. And then I really just have to thank my teammates for really just playing team ball, just get me the ball. Everyone being unselfish. And, I mean, that's how everyone all 5 starters are 1,000-point scorers, and Rike being a 2,000-point scorer.
And, it's a little unusual for Marina
to
be giving up the ball so quickly early on.
And Jessica Shepard's right on the threshold of maybe getting to 2,000 plus 1,000 rebounds. And Ruth Riley, the only other player that's done that in Notre Dame history. Neil, I wanted to ask you about the situation when you've got this much talent on a team. When you're scouting a game, you're breaking down a game, and you're looking at matchups. And last year, we're going against Connecticut in the national semifinal, and they're going to put maybe their best guard on Enrique, their next best guard on Marina, and then they're going to have Dangerfield at 5'5" try to guard Jackie Young. And what did you tell her? I mean, tonight's an All-American night, right?
I know. You just told Jackie just to take over, go to the block, or whatever is needed. You know, we have so much balance and so much talent. It's really hard to stop one person. If you stop one person, you have 4 others that are going to step up. You had, last year having Coco coming off the bench, so you have a lot of support and a lot of, weapons. And so it's really hard to stop one person because, we're so loaded, which is a blessing.
Well, Jackie's career high was 24 points going into that Connecticut game. She winds up with 32, which allowed us to blow out Connecticut by 1 in overtime. What a night, and it's got to be one of your top memories, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely up there, and I really just have to give credit to my teammates from the beginning. We knew that they were most likely going to leave me open, and that's what they did. And I talked to Ricky before the game, and she really just told me to go out there, play my game, be aggressive. And I noticed that from the start that's how they were going to play me, and I was, I think, able to hit my first jump shot, and I was able to get going after that.
It's a nice start and a nice finish, and of course, Enrique knew that you had 32, and they're going to talk to you after the game, and she said, well, I better make a basket here, so get some attention. Jackie, I wanted to ask you before we move on, just want to ask you, what's your line of study, and what are you're hoping to get your degree in?
Management consulting.
And so I said 20 years from now, when your WNBA career is over, what do you hope to be doing?
I don't know, something.
She's going to be the mayor of Princeton.
Yeah.
That's what she's going to be doing.
She already is the mayor of Princeton.
could be the mayor of South Bend. We're going to have an opening, I guess, so we'll see what happens there. Enrique, you're getting real close to being finished with your academics, and I know that's so important, not only for you personally, but in your family. High ideals, high standards for the Ogumbawale family.
Yeah, my mom's a teacher and my dad's a principal, so they were really big on us in academics. But, yeah, I'm graduating soon with the same major as her, so, hopefully good things come with it.
Well, and there might be a chance to do some other things after the season's over. I'm thinking WNBA, of course. Can you top last summer? You did some dancing, you did some SPN, you did some interviews. I mean, what a phenomenal year. And the great thing is you really kept it all in perspective because, well, Marina takes credit for that, but you're able to keep everything in perspective. You had a lot of fun, but it was quite an off season.
Yeah, I'm just the type of person that doesn't get too high and too low, and I mean, it was a blessing being in that platform over the summer, but, it's not, everybody doesn't get it, so you just can't take it for granted, and it can all be gone in a second, so I just try to enjoy it.
It was great to have the team out there at the ESPYs. That was pretty special.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So you got to take the team with you there, and we just got back from Georgia Tech, another trip to Atlanta. And they're going to be back here on February 3rd. Talk about Georgia Tech. I mean, they got a good young team. They got some good young.
Yeah, well, they're really good. They're really competitive, and they were excited to play, as we could tell in warm-ups. And they came out really strong against us, which, like all teams are going to do, try to beat us like that. But I think they're a really good team. They have a lot of weapons. They're pretty tall, too. So I think they're only going to get better as the season goes by.
The reason I brought up the Georgia Tech game is you had a double-double. And a strange one in a way. You had 13 points, but she had 12 assists in that game where the team had 30 assists. And, if they're going to overplay you, if they want to double cover you, whatever, little bounce pass to the post isn't a bad idea, is it?
Yeah, I think everybody's always ready. Once we get deep in the paint, it can be passed at any time. So if people are going to step off and, not honor the great players that we have on the court, it's easy to get an assist.
A couple of games this year, you've had 8, 9, 10 rebounds. Now, how does that happen?
I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
Which games were
I
they?
know. Do you have that one, Phil?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, there's so many great memories already, and this team is just starting again to get as healthy as we can be and develop the younger players, and it's just going to be a phenomenal run, and looking forward to what's going to happen between now, obviously, and the end of the year. So we're excited about that. We're going to take a break in a moment, and then the ladies are going to take over. Coach Muffet Mcgraw with their segment. It's the Ladies Roundtable coming up next. Looking forward to that. Right now we got to ask you another trivia question, and I don't think I've given this answer away. I haven't. Here's your next question. Arike Ogunbowale has won the ACC Player of the Week how many times this season? Again, Arike has been the ACC Player of the Week how many times so far? And I tell you what, Women's Roundtable is coming up in just a moment. Stay with us. Our show brought to you by TheTireRack.com. Back at O'Rourke's in a moment.
Hey, I'm Brant, and this just makes sense. Let's say you've got credit card debt, maybe on multiple cards. You're not able to pay it off right now, but you want to be debt-free. Well, call Trinity Debt Management. This is exactly what they're great at. I'll give you the phone number in a bit. But just so you know, this isn't a gimmick. They're a nonprofit that specializes in this. They get you set up with a single monthly payment that's less than what you might expect because they're able to get you a break on the interest you're paying. So it's honorable. You're paying your debt, but it costs substantially less. You save a lot of money. The great thing, too, when you call, you talk to a certified credit counselor. You're not alone in this. It happens to a lot of people. And the end result here is being debt-free. And that is such a beautiful thing. So get help. They are so good at this. Trinity Debt Management. This is what they do. 800-750-9643. 800-750-9643. Call now. 800-750-9643.
Join the gang at O'Rourke's Public House, located in Eddy Street Commons, directly across the street from the Notre Dame campus. With an extensive selection of menu items, they're sure you'll find something to your liking. Experience dining at one of the 5 different Irish-themed areas overlooking Notre Dame's beautiful campus. Whether you're catching up with an old friend, having a meeting, or enjoying dinner with your family, O'Rourke's is the place to be. Visit them online at o'rourkespublichouse.com. Cheers to the Irish from O'Rourke's, the official home of the Muffet Mcgraw radio show.
Life doesn't come with a financial roadmap. It does come with a lot of bumps and red lights. Steering clear of those doesn't have to be difficult. With First Source Bank's online money management tools, you can see all your financial accounts, balances, and transactions in one place. So you can easily set monthly budgets to help manage expenses and debt. Get the green light to a successful financial future with First Source's money management tools. First Source Bank, where better is better. Member FDIC.
It's the Muffet Mcgraw Show with your host, Bob Nagel, on Pulse FM.
To O'Rourke's Public House, thanks for being with us. We've got our very special segment ready for you again. This is the Ladies Roundtable, and here's your host, Muffet Mcgraw.
Well, it's the year of the women last year, so this year, of course, just had a big week with women in Congress and Speaker of the House, so we're going to take over. Women are going to take over the world. I think we're going to do a little better job than what's going on out there right now. So we're just going to roll with it right now. Let's start off with Arike. Last year at the ESPYs, you got out and talked to some people. I know that a lot of guys are writing in about the WNBA players, how they could beat them in a game of one-on-one. That seems to be something that they're really focused on. And you were talking about come out and see us play. So what are you thinking about for the WNBA and what's going on out there, the salaries as opposed to the men? We got a long way to go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the women that are in the WNBA are just as good as the men and at least deserve the same respect as them. If they're getting the pay, we should be able to get the pay. And a lot of the people who have stuff to say about the WNBA aren't NBA players. I think they all respect us. They all know we're great players, but it's people who are average, like I said, average people who don't know anything about basketball, anything about sports, that have something to say about it. So, my comments were, okay, if you think we don't deserve to play or we're not good enough, how about you play us and see, what the score would be. So I think a lot really needs to change. But I think, at least our generation, the people coming up in college, we're really excited to play. And I think people caught wind of that last year in the Final Four. I think our Final Four was a lot I mean, no offense, better than men. So it was really exciting. The margin, the margin of victory was only about like 2-3 points for the whole tournament. So I think people started watching a lot more, and a lot more this year. There's been a lot of upsets, a lot of great games, competitive games. So I think it's really rising.
Yeah, parity maybe is coming. We'll see. So I got a couple questions for you guys. I'm going to start with Jackie Young. Are you a reader? You like to read?
Not at all.
I didn't think so.
Oh, no, me
No.
either.
Okay, so what's the best movie you've ever seen?
I think I Am Legend, Will Smith. That was a great movie.
Interesting choice. Jacqueline?
I don't know. That's tough. I just always say Love and Basketball.
Oh, gosh. That's cliche.
If you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Tacos.
So Tuesday is your favorite day of the week.
Yes.
I'll have to say I like stir fry.
Neil? We're going to have to move to the lightning round. I
know.
think there's just
I
a
like
little too
pizza.
much time in between answers
Pizza.
here.
I
I'm on a
love pizza.
deadline here.
I love pizza. That's what mine is.
Pizza. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. What's your favorite thing to do when you're not playing basketball?
I love to go shopping, and I mean, I feel like in my downtime, I just like to hang out with my friends and family.
Yeah, I like to sleep, lay down, watch Netflix.
Shopping.
Shopping.
Surprised.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of game day?
Well, I don't know. It depends. If it's a 1 o'clock game, pregame meal, because we get breakfast.
Oh, yes, it's delicious. Breakfast is the best. Mine would probably be music. I listen to all different kinds of music on game day.
Mm-hmm. When is your game?
My favorite part of pregame is seeing what you have on. I'm like, yes, coach, yes. Love it, love it.
So yesterday in the game, I wore 2 different earrings and nobody noticed.
Oh, wow.
Nobody noticed. I was in how many huddles, pregame talk. My fashion consultant right here didn't notice.
I didn't notice that.
I got home and I had this. I had a matching set at home too. Really nice. All right, lightning round. Ready? Answer at the same time.
Okay.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Netflix or Hulu?
Hulu, Netflix.
Call or text?
Text.
Cardio or weights?
Weights.
Music or podcast?
Music.
Hamburger or hot dog?
Hamburger.
Passenger or driver?
Driver.
I know Neil's a driver because she doesn't let me drive when we're together. Travel the world or travel the country?
Travel the country.
World.
Yeah, world.
Oh. World.
World.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Sneakers or sandals?
Sneakers.
Sneakers.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Beach.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
And you came to South Bend for the winter.
Academics.
TV show or movie?
Movie.
TV show.
Movie.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Introvert or extrovert?
Introvert.
No kidding.
Extrovert.
That talk you gave earlier was the most I've heard you speak ever. Orange juice or apple juice?
Apple juice.
Peanut butter or jelly?
Peanut butter.
Jelly.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Night
I
owl.
know.
Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Waffles.
Okay, so we have a lot of different things. What's the best advice you ever received?
I'll go first. Mine is don't compare yourself to anybody. Be your best you.
I think mine was don't be afraid to fail.
Good one.
Mine is probably go out there every night and play like you're the best player in the country.
Taking that advice, I see. Good. Okay, life lessons. Trying to teach a lot of life lessons. What do you learn by playing a team sport, especially as a woman? Yes, your radio is still on. We're just thinking there. Go ahead.
Can you repeat the question?
Some big life
can we
lessons.
phone a
Handling
friend?
adversity, discipline,
Okay.
sacrifice.
Life lessons, especially as a woman. Take it away, Jackie.
So apparently a pop quiz.
Yeah,
I just thought we had prepared them for this one.
Next question.
Phone a friend.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
You got it.
Bob, do we have another trivia question? We're out of answers here.
We have a tape now. We're going to play back Jackie's answers. Holy cow. No wonder she's fighting to be on my post-game show all the time. Man, what's up with that? Tell you what, this has been good. You love the women's segment? Coach does a great job with that. Really appreciate it. And Coach, those are good questions. And again, we really appreciate
the questions were good. The answers,
well,
they were so good they had us stumped.
Hey, you know who was in fastest was Nielle. She was very quick. Yeah, very quick. We're gonna go to a break and then we'll come back and have our final segment. And again, how about a hand for the ladies for being with us today, Jackie and Enrique and Nielle. Thank you so much. And we have another trivia question for you. This is our final question out of the 5. And write down your answers, and then we'll check on those. And this question has to do with Jackie Young. She reached 1,000 career points in the win over Pittsburgh. She becomes the blank Irish player in program history to reach the milestone. Which number is Jackie to reach 1,000 points here at Notre Dame in her career? That's the 5th question. If we have a tiebreaker, we'll have to ask another question. But I think I might have given – did I give that?
Yep.
I gave that one away too. Okay.
Pretty
well,
much
if you're
giving them
paying
all away.
attention, you probably got a correct answer there. We'll be back with wrap up our show in just a moment, talk about the games ahead. And Charlotte Lewis is going to join us for a couple of minutes talking about the Pink Zone game, which is coming up on February 13th. We'll talk about that in just a moment here on our show. Back in a moment. Our show brought to you by thetirerack.com.
At West Bend, we like to say the worst brings out our best. So if something bad happens to your home, your car, your boat, motorcycle, or personal possessions, a West Bend home and highway policy will cover it all with one agent, one policy, and one bill. Not to mention one deductible. And if you don't file a claim all year, we'll give you some of your money back. Even your wallet can have a silver lining. To find out more, go to thesilverlining.com.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or more importantly, if you signed up for a plan that you're just not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare. MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing program that's been around for 25 years, and they have hundreds of thousands of members all across the country. And get this, over the years, MediShare members have shared more than $1 billion of each other's medical bills. Best of all, you could save a lot of money with MediShare. The typical savings for a family is about $500 a month. Your savings could be more or less, but think about what you could do with that extra money. Think you're stuck with a high-cost health plan that doesn't have a lot to offer? Well, think again. You can join MediShare anytime, so call them today and check it out. Here's the number to find out more, and there's no pressure. They're super easy to talk to. 855-PSALM-16. That's 855-PSALM-16. 855-PSALM-16.
From South Bend, Indiana, you know where that's at. I don't. Where do you live? It's Sports Yak with Corey Mann and Chuck Freebie. Sports Yak is brought to you by
Big and Tall Outlet.
the #1 most downloaded sports podcast on the Studio DNA Podcast Network.
Get the Sports Yak podcast wherever you download podcasts.
This is Jimmy Shorts, and that's good.
Live from O'Rourke's Public House in Eddy Street Commons, it's the Muffet Mcgraw Show on Pulse FM.
Welcome back to O'Rourke's Public House. The Muffet Mcgraw Show rolls on. We're glad you're with us. And our next show is coming up in February. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But Charlotte Lewis has joined us. Charlotte is, among other things, our events coordinator. And a very special thing we do every year, and we lead the nation in a lot of things, but we lead the nation in effort toward the Pink Zone. And it's a very special thing for us at Notre Dame every year. And Charlotte, we're announcing tonight is the opening of the auction online for a lot of special things.
Yes, the auction, the online auction for the warm-up shirts that the girls wear. They'll wear them on February the 10th, the game against Florida State. Game is at noon. The girls are wearing their warm-ups, and you can have the warm-up personalized on the back in memory of and honor of. And also our loving coaching staff will wear polos that you can have also personalized. So the auction starts tonight at 7 p.m. and it ends next Monday at 7 p.m.
And a lot of special things going on with the Pink Zone. Among them, there's going to be a big bingo game.
Yes, we're bringing bingo back. So bingo will be February the 3rd. So that's the week before the Pink game. So after the Georgia Tech game, I believe, you guys can join us. So you can sign up starting Thursday. Okay? I know you guys are so excited for that. I hear it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that's, it's really reasonable. And I really want to see you guys come out and play bingo with Katie Capps she's going to be our announcer, our bingo caller. Again, this year, she's world renowned. So come out.
To school for that, right?
Yeah, yep.
Took a class.
Everyone is requesting her, so I have to pay for it, guys. So I need you guys to sign up.
All right. Wanted to ask you, too, I had a couple of people ask me, we're going to be selling candy bars this year?
You know what, Bob? Patricia McAdams told me that we are almost sold out.
Already?
So you have to come Thursday if you want a candy bar this year. Please come out on Thursday.
There's always a timing issue. I gave up candy for the new year, or do you still have candy bars left? It's always a timing thing. It's usually right about now. So
right before Lent, we got to get rid of those.
Charlotte, thank you, and we'll be talking more on each broadcast of the games and everything about the Pink Zone because it is so important. And thanks for all the wonderful work that you do.
Yes,
You're welcome.
great work.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it, Charlotte.
Thank you, Coach,
Love
for
having
having
your
me.
attitude.
But a hand for Charlotte Lewis,
Yeah.
everybody.
So this week we got to bring toiletries for the YW. We're trying to bring shampoo and any kind of diapers, kid stuff, anything that we have around the house. We're going to be collecting them in bins when you come in, and they'll be sending them down to the YW.
Yes.
You mean all the things I took out of my hotel room in Atlanta?
Yes, please bring those.
Got to turn that in? Okay. All right. A lot of things going on. And you can check on our website. We always keep everybody up to date, UND.com, women's basketball, and look on all the things, especially auctions now. So thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you.
All right. Charlotte Lewis joining us, and we appreciate her help. All right. We have a winner. Okay, we have a winner. We'll get to that in just a second. Coach, we got to look ahead to the schedule, and you got a couple of quick questions there you wanted to answer?
Yeah, I could do it. I'll do it in the style of Rike and Jackie. What do you think of all the top 20 upsets this past weekend? Bob, could you repeat the question?
That's our show for
I
tonight.
thought it was awesome. I think it's great. Parity is coming to women's basketball. We need that. It's great to see everyone else lose. Team seems really healthy, and what's the most important stat when you look at the stat sheet? That's a great question. Assist to turnover ratio is the most important stat. First thing I always look at. I want to play teams that always have more turnovers than assists, and for us, we want to be leading the nation in assist to turnover. I think it's a really critical stat. It means we're getting really good shots, and we really like to credit the people that are willing to pass the ball, and we've been really good at that. That's why Bob and I keep talking about how many assists we have after every game. That's been great. Team is healthy. And how do you deal with game day nerves? You'll have to ask Matt about that. I stay closeted away. I am definitely under wraps in that game.
All righty. Coach, we want to announce our winners of our trivia contest tonight. Rick's Raiders. Where's Rick's Raiders? Right here?
Oh, we've got an upset.
Oh, Rike's Raiders. Okay. Good job. And congratulations to all the winners. They had all the answers answered correctly, even the ones I gave them. I got to be more careful in the future. But congratulations. They're going to get towels. The green towels we're going to give out on Thursday night. And they're also going to get autographed 900 signs from Coach Muffet Mcgraw. How about that? Pretty nice prizes. Coach, as we wind down the show, I want to talk about the game Thursday night. It's a very big one. A couple of top-ranked teams going at it, and an exciting game. Obviously, ACC's had some great teams, and two of the best playing Thursday.
Yeah, two really good teams going at it, and we're happy to be having that game at home with our fans. I know it's going to be a sellout. We're going to really need the crowd because this is a game that's really important to us. Every game is important, but this one, of course, has a little bit of a rivalry going, so we will hopefully be ready for it.
And then we've got Wake Forest coming in on Sunday. Got to take care of business there. No letdown. Then we got Virginia Tech at home. We got Boston College at home, but 3 of our next 4 games are on the road, so another good test.
Yeah, we've got to be ready on the road. In this league, everybody's good.
Every night is a good one. Every night's a challenge, so we're looking forward to that. And it's time to wrap up our show. Again, we're going to need our fans there on Thursday night, so everybody be ready. Wear your green, or it's going to be a green out. Want to thank so many people who help us. Bob Henning is our engineer, does a great job. Matt Thibodeau and Aaron Poling in our studio. Mark Pridgeon, our Pulse engineer. And thanks to everybody who helps out. Katie Capps, Josh Bates, Greg Hughes, Rob Kelly, all the staff. Josh Modio, thank you for all your help as well. And again, our thanks for being with us. And our next show will come your way in February. And we'll have that for you on February 4th. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Muffet McGraw Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House in Eddy Street Commons, with Hall of Fame Notre Dame women's basketball coach Muffet McGraw. Brought to us by Tire Rack, First Source Bank, and O'Rourke's Public House in Eddy Street Commons.
Put up the shot. It's on. Oh! Notre Dame is national champions!
This is your home for Notre Dame women's basketball. Positive Hits, Pulse FM.